Hello, loyal patrons and viewers. We have decided to begin a new format instead of our full-on discussions. We're going to do quick question and answer.
That's not to say we won't be doing the full-on discussions at any point in the future, but to say that let's give you some bite-sized information for your day.
So, to start off with, we're coming up with the questions, but if you have any questions you'd like us to answer about the setting or the rules, let us know and we'll answer those first.
Besides, your answers are going to be more interesting than ours because a lot of our answers we already know.
Alright, so first question is me asking a story question of you. What jobs exist on the Yggdrasil space elevator, or the other ones, but Yggdrasil space elevator on Nuevo Paradiso is core to the setting, so what jobs exist there that would be interesting to appear in a game? Let's go for at least 10 in 5 minutes, and go.
Okay, here we go. Let's start with the obvious. I'm going to mention the first thing is going to be technicians and repair staff. Technicians and repair staff are interesting for a bunch of reasons, not the least because they're a good background to have. Any station that's going to have a lot of traffic is going to have a lot of maintenance and engineers. This is interesting and useful to your players because it gives you a ready source of people to disguise as or infiltrate as. There's a decent source of churn between them as people rotate and rotate up, rotate down, and they're ever present in the background. So though they're not directly interested as in, oh, it's just another maintenance worker, they are interesting to the storyteller because the storyteller is able
one
to...
of them's got a debt and they can totally smuggle something.
Or more appropriately, they're interested in the storyteller because the storyteller has them as the canvas on which to paint the background.
Alright, job 2.
Job 2 is the transit official. The transit official you will most often see at the top or bottom as they check you in and check you out, because not much can happen on the midsection, and really, theoretically, no one is there who shouldn't be there, but you'll see these people who are in charge of not only checking in people, but also checking in equipment, checking in shipments, and checking in transit cars. These people are interesting because, for one, they provide a source of bribery. For two, the presence of a transit official midway, or even the presence of a transit official on the cars going up or going down, indicates to the player characters that something is up. Maybe their cover's been blown, maybe there's someone else trying to infiltrate, or maybe it's just a random check. Who knows? Simply put, the presence of a transit official at anywhere other than the expected points should be interesting.
Papers, please. Glord Arstotska, job 3.
Job 3. Job 3 is the stevedore, the freight handler. These people are not necessarily staff directly. These are often people who are specifically contracted by a freight-moving company to ensure that their freight gets from point A to point B.
And often short-term contract labor, so it's often something that PCs could pick up as a job, and maybe as a cover story for a job.
Generally speaking, you will not see these people on the elevator. You will see these people, again, at the top and the bottom of the elevator. If they are traveling up or down, they are probably traveling to a shift up on top or from a shift down below, and so they are traveling as passengers. If people are moving things from the midway point, well, that's a very, very interesting situation indeed and should be looked into. Again, these are more background people, but they're a different type of background person.
Heave-ho, job 4.
Job 4. Job 4 is the correspondent. The correspondent is a variety job, one that I'm using to cover not only reporters, but also analysts, investigators, and other people working in an official capacity. Sometimes these people are employed by the owners and operators of the space elevator. How else are you going to make certain that it's meeting standards? Other times these are owned and operated by government officials or even third-party situations. Generally speaking, these people are official, these people are not undercover, and the presence of these people means an inspection is going down. For the PCs, this might mean it's time to batten the hatches and keep their heads down, or it might mean that now is the actual time to raise a fuss because people will be more concerned about putting out the fires than watching where their shipment is going.
I've had both kinds of PCs in playtests, ones who would go for spin and ones who would go for, oh shit, duck and cover.
Exactly.
Job 5.
Job 5. Job 5 is not actually an official job. Job 5 is the underworld representative. After all, Underworld has to get their hooks in somewhere, but then the representative is the representative of the Underworld's interests on the space elevator. Generally speaking, this is someone who is in a position of low to middle authority, who can be anywhere they need to be, and whose traffic to whose quarters or whose office is not going to be out of place. Sometimes this is the janitorial staff member who happens to be a source for illicit drugs and no one will suspect them because they always do a good job, keep their head down, and are not too exceptional. Other times, this is the corrupt paper pusher whose office is always open and they know that you're going to go there to collect your bribes, but you're also paying for that information. The Underworld representative is an unofficial job, but a vital one.
Alright, so what are you buying? But job 6.
Job 6 is the executive. The executive often does not have a job on the space elevator itself. The executive will often have an office on the space elevator, just for formality's sake, but they don't generally have a job. Their job is elsewhere. However, they are there because the space elevator is, in fact, a position of responsibility, and what do you know? You've got an
Notably, a
executive.
midway office on the space elevator is actually a pretty great point to telepresence from because it's got really good broadcasting
And the
characteristics.
view is fantastic.
You're above most weather, so you don't lose satellite reception.
Exactly.
All right, so that was, what,
That was 6.
So 7.
Job 7, we were talking about midway. Job 7 is food service, by which I mean everyone on the station and on the elevator has to eat. There are, in fact, regular commissaries. Some of them are as simple as a vending machine located in a break room on the stock itself. Because
But that just gets the technicians to service it.
pretty much. Other times it is a cafeteria located at one of the stopping stations. Sometimes it is a midway station that is actually almost a full-on hotel. Yes, there are people who pause halfway up the space elevator, which is normally a less than a full-day trip, just to have a room there to say they have it. Generally speaking,
In
you'll
a
have...
previous video, we established how long a trip it was.
Exactly. Go back and watch the previous videos. I've just lost some time saying that, so you know it's important. When you get up to the top, that's where the real luxury kicks in. But there again, people need to eat. Food service is a real thing. This brings us to the next job.
Which we're not going to do in this video because we're out of time, so thank you for watching, and we will get back to more questions tomorrow.
That's the plan.